Okay, everything's working by chat. Oh, this is gonna be a quick, like, 5-minute rant. And by that I mean 30 minutes is already gone. And I just need to get back to studying. ADHD is miserable. I know I'm just, like, generally weak-willed. But today I took my meds and everything. I've just been miserable. I couldn't log in at all my test is tomorrow. I don't understand half the material. I get the basis, but I can't solve a thing. I have a mechanics of materials, like, test. It shouldn't even be that bad. I know it's gonna be moderately easy. I've been struggling with the material and just refuse to do anything to make it easier for myself. I don't know. But it has been a struggle and a fight to get myself to just start studying. And I've recently started, but it's just hard. I can sit for hours on end looking at the material open on my computer and just do nothing. I don't know how other people with ADHD do anything. This is the test I was like, I'm gonna study every day for this. I need to. And then just didn't until now. 2 a.m. the day before the test. I mean, yeah, I kind of have a little bit of time tomorrow to study, but like, I basically had nothing to very little to do today. And I just couldn't study. Like I did what normally works, and it just didn't work this time. I don't know. Typically before I start studying, I always like curl under my bed and just absolute silence sit there. A phone with a 45, 30-minute alarm, and sit there and just think. Sometimes maybe like lay down on the floor. Just something where there's nothing to distract you. Lights off. Like not sleeping, but kind of like in a almost sleep state. Not really. Just like have your mind wander, but try to have no thoughts. Be as like empty as possible. And your mind will wander, but after that time is up, you'll feel, at least to me, it's like you'll feel refreshed. And you won't feel like the urge to scroll. But that didn't work. I got myself a sub from Subway because that's the autistic need to get a singular food and eat that constantly for like 8 weeks straight. By that I mean for the past 4 weeks, that's all I've had. The same Subway order. Which is turkey because I like the consistency of the meat. Because sometimes chicken has like different bits in it. And then I'll get the chipotle sauce and then lettuce and onion and provolone cheese. On the cheese and herb bread. When that bread is cooked like perfectly, with it being like soft bread, but the like cheese on top is crunchy, oh, it's absolutely perfect. I've gotten that once and it was so good. I'm chasing that high ever since. Anyway. Oh my god, you see what I mean? Full rant about sandwiches. It was meant to be like, okay, I'm gonna study a bunch today, and then my break will be streaming me doing Neon White for like an hour and a half, which would be fine if I logged in, but I sat in like misery for 2 hours. Not even 2 hours, for the full day. And just to get started at 2 a.m., am I serious with myself here? Like, I get the fundamentals. It's only on chapter 2, which is basically just... I can read out Hooke's law and modules of elasticity, which I don't fully understand. Deformations under actual load, which I get. This means stress and strain. Stress being just the force on an object, and then strain being the deformation as a result. Like, it makes sense. And then like a bunch of other stuff. It all makes sense, but am I struggling? Anyway, that's gonna be all. That's 6 minutes, and that's all I can afford. I can't tell if anyone tuned in my chat tracker. Is it working? Because chat decides every stream that it's gonna break for 10 minutes. Anyway, yeah, that's all. I wish I could do more today, and this is, I think, my least favorite stream yet. Like, I've done streams of word tests before. I've already had a test. And it wasn't that bad, but I still screwed it up. I wouldn't even lie. But so many people screwed it up with me that he gave us bonus. So it's whatever. Anyway, yeah. Bye, guys. Hope you enjoy this little rant. I remember Markiplier had a quote about this that was so painfully relatable. It made me not cry, but it was just, I don't know. Oh yeah, this is another part of it. I got that sandwich. This is what the sandwich is about. I got that sandwich. I took 3 bites, thought, oh my god, this is the grossest thing in the entire world. I never want to eat again. Almost went into vomit. Forced myself to eat half of it miserably. And just gave up doing anything else, even though I was really supposed to the start after I did that. Threw away the other half of the sandwich, which is just in a garbage bag on my floor because I have to take it out tomorrow. I decided I'm gonna make soup, and then was miserably eating soup with the same feeling, but at least I finished the soup. And then I made myself hot chocolate as like a treat. No reason, don't deserve a treat. I was like, oh, I have hot chocolate, and couldn't stop myself. Couldn't stop myself from like wasting a little bit more time instead of working. I'm only doing this stream now because I basically understand a chunk of the material, or at least the baseline for it. Yeah. I don't know, having ADHD is hard, and then the meds, which sometimes give me the ability to be like almost normal with having my ADHD. They make it so that the thought of putting any little bit of food in my body is so repulsive that it makes me feel sick at just the thought. And then it suppresses my appetite as well. So I just don't think I want to ever eat again for the rest of my life when I'm on meds. And then also never feel like I'm hungry unless I'm actively starving. And it's like bad starving too. It's not like it's like skip eating meals for like 36 hours kind of starving, and then you're like, oh damn. I might actually just pass away if I don't eat. I mean, I've been living this with it for a while, so it's not soup bad, and I will force myself to eat it, hence the soup and everything. But I don't know. I know it's not that big of a struggle compared to what other people have, but my struggles is still a struggle. Other people's struggles are still their struggles. Until this medication is better than Vyvanse. Vyvanse was miserable. I feel like I was dead on Vyvanse, and then I just like wake up when it stops working. I get things done, but I didn't feel like I existed. Not something you, not a feeling you want to feel. I don't know. 11-minute rant, I guess. To be fair, I also want to point out, I took my meds very late in the day. I had waited. I, I don't know. I just forgot to take them. It's like, oh, lock in and study. I, I, I don't think I typically don't really forget to take my meds. It was just I forgot, which is the dumbest thing right before a test too. I'm just so stupid. I'm just unbelievably stupid. And here I am locked in for streaming. I still have the work pulled up. Have what 20 practice problems I'm gonna force myself to do before I go to sleep. I have to fundamentally completely understand and know how to reverse engineer like 10 equations, 10, 15 equations. I get the base idea of something. Like some of them are really easy. Like let's just do normal strain to axial loading. It's just a normal strain, which is the deformation over the length. Which means you can just reverse engineer that equation to get any one of those as long as you have the other two, right? Makes sense. Then tensile strain and compressive strain, elongation, contraction. And then length plus deformation is the final length. Length is the base length. Like, it makes sense. And there's graphs to show that typically materials like can support it, and then they start deforming a bit. And then there's a modulus of elasticity, or Young's modulus, which is valid up until the point. It's basically linear up until it hits a point where it's like, yeah, it's kind of like, which you can comfortably go up to the material. Then it starts deforming. And you get that by stress equaling the elasticity times the strain. And then you can get a few, so stress using the load in a cross-sectional area, which means stress is just the force over area, which is normal, and then strain, which is stress over modulus of elasticity, then deformation as strain times length. And then the big one is deformation equation, which is force times length over area times modulus of elasticity. But like that's 1/5 of the information I have to study. Look, he's gonna start just reviewing with chat. Oh, guys, study with me. ADHD rant turned into study with me. So I'm just gonna sound like I'm schizophrenic. Engineering stress. Initial area. True stress is force over deformed area. Engineering stress. Basically, you don't have to remember true stress. True stress is nonsense. We only use engineering stress because we're engineers. And because typically, especially for tension, I guess you just remember both, but typically the area gets larger. as material is stretched. No, depends. Compressed area gets larger. Uh, tension. Compression's when you push it together, like both ends of the material inward. So it kind of compresses the material. And then tension's when you pull two ends apart. I mean, kind of the basic stuff, whatever. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of engineering. I went into it for building. My class where I get to 3D model things is my favorite class. If I could do 3D modeling for the rest of my life, I think I'd just be happy. I'm actively looking to just do 3D modeling because it's so fun. I literally redo every single one of the assignments twice over because I do it with him in class. And then I redo it on my like computer to then submit it later. Because I'm that locked in. I guess not that locked in, but that enjoyment of the course. Anyway. Review more to enforce it. So yeah, the engineering stress and choose test and engineering strain, which is just deformation over initial length is how you get strain as well. Oh, there are so many different ways to calculate everything. All makes sense though. And then temperature. Dude, temperature change of materials is really interesting. Because it increases in every direction too. But it's really simple because it's just deformation for each temperature, which is internal property of material times the change times the length. So free thermal strain, there's no stress because the material can just grow. So essentially you just blow in a balloon. There's nothing stopping the balloon from expanding, right? But then, I guess that's not, more accurate would be like, here's a great example. I use this with a friend when I was trying to explain this. Say you freeze water. When it gets colder, it expands, right? When it freezes because of the crystalline structure. And can explode cans. It's because it puts stress on the can, and the can in turn puts stress on the water. But if you just freeze ice cubes in like an ice tray, they just expand upward. Because there's no like confinement to them. Which is literally thermal strain in a nutshell. Yeah, it just happens. However, if it's constricted, strain equals strain from temperature plus strain from force. Which is just total strain. Which is both plus the force over area times elasticity. It's like, oh, this makes sense, right? I mean, you were studying this as like a professional major. None of you were watching this even. But this just won't click for me. And I'm just redoing all of the homeworks because I've gotten help on like all of them. Now, this semester is supposed to be easy. My classes aren't that hard. In proportion, I mean, they always say there's like 5 grades of like aerospace, which is what I'm doing. Well, I have I study engineering in the tags. And my videos never go to engineers though, because they don't care to watch some random guy who's like student gaming, but I don't know. There was a channel I watched for a while called like Real Civil Engineer, and he just did like polybridge and stuff. Which I thought, I don't know. He actively like for a job. Well, this is general civil engineering. It was just polybridge, and I've literally studied the base idea of how, like, try with this. I'm still in. If I continue my track, I could switch to civil engineering. But I mean, by the end of the semester, and I have wasted no credits in aerospace. Aerospace, dude, we can't do anything aerospace for so long. We do intro to aerospace, fine class, whatever. And then, nothing. You don't touch aerospace again till aeronautics. Which is like, cool. Did I like calculating how a rocket orbits a planet? Yeah, interesting enough. Cool. You're not going to touch that again for the next 3 years at college, and then you're going to take aeronautics. Which, that's cool. But literally, as of right now, I could go into materials engineering, or civil engineering, or environmental engineering. Not as much environmental. I wouldn't have to take mechanics and materials if I did environmental. But hey, civil ain't bad. I mean, aerospace gets paid the most of most engineerings. And it's a really interesting one to just minor in. Especially because you can get the degree. For a lot of engineering degrees, they're kind of like equivalent. So, like, if someone gets a aerospace or mechanical, you know that they can basically just do civil. They miss some of the concrete equations and a little bit of fluid dynamics, but like, if I'm designing a building, that doesn't matter. If anything, if I'm designing a skyscraper, aerodynamics would matter more, but that's neither here nor there. I don't know. Meaning aside, back to look. Poisson's Poisson ratio, actually, although there'll be strains in the perpendicular directions, can be proportional to the strain along the axial dimensions. A ratio between the values is called the negative lateral strain over axial strain. The solve for lateral strain. So strain in the x direction is the stress in the x over e. You can also, but if you have the x, you can get the y by v times the strain in x negative over e into Hooke's law. Hooke's law is so important. I just don't get it. Hooke's law. 1 over e, which is just basically what we learned earlier. You can take strain at x is this to get more deformation? Not deformation, that's completely different. I'm not even like showing this because I don't want to leak more than I probably already have. Look, you might go back and delete some of my VODs. It'll become a lost media, which is whatever. I have leaked stuff about myself that I like this school I go to, which I don't. When out there, I mean, crazy people. There's no one that's gonna be crazy enough to follow me though. I don't know. I do have quite a few regrets with streaming. Those being kind of letting my friends know. I love all my friends. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know. This was intended to just be an outlet for me, and to say whatever, and I don't know. When knowing the people I know watch, it's a very different vibe. I just wanted someone to watch. I won't lie. Which is not a wrong feeling, but act I did and can't take back. Is how it goes. With all actions, all decisions. Hooke's law assumes a bunch about the material. Deformation unit equals 1 plus strain times 1 plus, or x strain plus 1 plus y strain plus 1 plus z strain. Since strains are small, you can just do 1 plus strain, strain, and strain. Dilation, change in volume per unit of, change in volume per unit volume. Oh, this is so much. Hydrostatic pressure, bulk modulus, rigidity of shear, shearing strain. Massing module plus shear modulus are related. I'll return to that. And then we have stress concentrations, which are done, which I kind of understand half of it. Stress modulations are based on, let's say you have a plate, two forces in opposite directions and a hole in the plate. Within that plate, when you put stress like going away, there's more stress closer to the hole along that middle line than there is on the outside of the plate, which makes sense intuitively. Because imagine that you have like a rubber band and you rip it, it starts ripping from the inside out. Just because that material is experiencing the most force. Because force does not like directly spread out. And then what if you have like fillets, which are just like curved ends? Because if I'm a perfect corner, you like kind of like curve into it. I mean, it makes sense. You force on one end, and like the diameters are really important, and there's a whole like graph to say like, visit this graph for the special value you get to alternate. And then we have plastic deformation, which is permanent that you go back on. Oh, which has stress. What? I mean, this isn't bad though. I am extremely worried about what will be on the test, but I don't think overall, I don't think this is that bad. Like I explained in like 20 minutes. Which is the base idea, but imagine you're given, let's pick a random equation I was given. Fabric used in air-inflated structures is a subject to biaxial load that results in normal stresses. Stress equal 18 ksi, and stress in x direction equals 18, and stress in z direction equals 24. Nuclear properties can be approximated as E equals 12.6 times 10 to the 6 psi, and V equals 0.34, determine the change in length of side AB, side BC, and diagonal AC. Diagonal AC is really easy because it's just the triangle of this deformation 1, deformation other. Or change in length, which is the same as deformation. Deformation specifically. And this is one of the easier equations, because all you do is go back to Hooke's law, which I mentioned earlier, as the 1 over E, which you're given E, which is 12.6 times 10 to the 6 psi, times x minus volume y minus volume z, but there's no change in z. And you're given it anyway. But you have to remember that v, so then you have to toss in v, so it's actually x, or pressure in x minus v pressure y to get a change in x, which ends up being that. And then you do the same thing, but z is positive for the z1. Because y-axis is the up axis, actually. Oh, so you ignore Y actually. I was looking at the plane wrong. Okay, wait. Y'all can see me struggling with this. But like, I can look at this and be like, yeah, that makes sense how you'd solve it. But I can sit on my computer for so long and just not know. Just not know for so long. I don't know. It's just it's just struggle. This has been 30 minutes. I'm gonna get back to self-studying. This automatically the nonsense rant to chat has helped. Issue is I need to find my niche before I can grow. I know doing nonsense like this actively hurts my chance of growing. Didn't even show anything on screen this entire time. It's like garbage ASMR. I do hope someone has enjoyed this. I know my voice isn't even that pleasant to listen to. I don't know why I don't just like screw it and then new voice modifier. I'm gonna do like a cute girl voice modifier and then cute girl avatar. I don't know. Plus, I know it's a lot harder for male VTubers in the space to even reach a modicum, like a hair of what female YouTubers do. Yet every once in a while, one will like blow up, and then they'll be out as a terrible person. It's a great look at the industry I'm trying to break in, which is what kind of why I stopped using my model, but also because my camera starts bugging out, and I'd rather have it work. I don't know. I like the nonsense I do with my model, but first thing would be cool to coordinate with other people, and I love the freedom of how do I say this? I love the freedom of like messing with my model, having like unique toggles and stuff like that. Having like a lore for my model. Because I want to expand that more. But that is also something I just can't do right now. Which is a shame. But what can I do? Nothing. I don't know. Dude, I've been so locked out. I've adjusted my monitor at least 18 different times today. Dude, for me, there's always some issue with my setup. I can never be happy. And then my phone just started resetting. What? Stay off. I don't care. I don't know. I've reset a ton of things in my setup recently. Not like reset, but I used to always like adjust my mic, which I stopped doing. I used to keep adjusting how my like headphone cord draped over. I kind of set up in a good way. It's like actually insane, like actual contraption level. Because there's no like I have a like mic stand, so it actually like ooh, if that made sense. But like I can like just push it away, and it's typically like away, and I have it like right in front of my computer, so I kind of just like force wrap the cord around the base a bunch and then plug it in, and then kind of like wrap my it's like with just the mic, mic has to go around the desk, and there's no solid place to go around my desk. So I have to put it, I have to open a drawer, extend it into the drawer, and then I can't fully close the drawer. So at the base of the stand, I have rubber banded a like stress squish toy to it, so that when I close my desk, I'm not slamming to my mic stand, and instead it's bouncing. It's like the little stress star is absorbing a bit of the force, or more of like most of the force. So it's not like, I mean, all the force is in theory going into still going into the stand, but it's not like slamming. It's more of like slowly acclimating to it, and then it also pushes it back a little bit, so it's not like fully slammed. I don't know. Anyway, because of that latch over, there's like a small indentation from where it connects to the base. I've threaded my cord through that, so if I ever like yank my headphones, it's not directly yanking out of the computer. It's kind of like on the stand that I've tightened a little bit too much. Because I like a firm microphone. So yeah, so I used to adjust that a ton, but now I kind of like where it is. Same with my microphone. Do I keep it slightly in front of my mouth? But it just also allows enough space for my arm to like reach my mouse. And for me to like go forward toward my computer, hunch back. I don't know. Okay, 37-minute stream. This is meant to be 5 minutes. The first stream name of this was 5 Minute Stream Adventure, and it still is that for YouTube. I don't know why. I've updated all. Thanks for your stream. At least it's free. Can't complain for free. I do not like YouTube streaming though. I don't care for it. It has a weird like general events and then like multiple like sub events. I don't know. Little stupid. But I'm happy with it. I don't know. Gotta start having thumbnails too. I realize that's a big reason I'm not going either. I can't find a niche show. YouTube has no idea where to give my videos. Because like once I finish Neon White, which I'm doing a bunch of right now, I'm not gonna. Well, Neon White's a really old game. Here, let's just go. Oh, quick. Oh, sick. It's stayed signed. Well, let's just do create a dashboard. Like, last stream got 2 viewers. Like, I'm not doing well. Cheers, silly. Don't be mean. Let's do, what is it? Research. Yeah. Neon White. 4.5k followers, but how is average viewers? Average viewers 10. Average channel is 3. Average viewers per channel 1, 3, 2, 6. Sometimes it spikes actually. Like now there's 34. But there's one channel and 42 viewers at 5 a.m. I'm still in the Neon White category, aren't I? That makes sense. That's also not today, that's Friday. More. There's only like, what, one person streaming Neon White at a time usually? Okay, like I'm the only one streaming right now. That's cool. It's a sick game, but no one. No one watches streams. Last one did like a 2-1 playing. Breaking 10 seconds. I couldn't imagine. I mean, some of the videos get some decent views. They're quite lengthy too. I wonder how my uh content GPuser 0 views, 3 views, 4 views, 7 views, 3 views, 6 views, 0 views, 2, 0, 2, 0. Dude, no one. No one liked my nubby. No one liked my nubby content at all. No one, not a single soul liked my. Oh, not a single soul liked my nubby content. That's so funny. Let's check my YouTube channel actually. Let's do popular videos. Screaming into the void. What's that? I'm feeling good and a fool. Not even the thumbnail popped up. That's funny. Ooh, people kind of liked my Game Awards. My Game Awards talk. I mean, I did say I had high expectations for High Guard. No one was asking for it, but I assumed with the people working on it, it would be decent. It was not, which is a big shame. But what can you do? I had more hopes than anything, and I wanted to stream it. And I downloaded it to stream it, but I decided not to because I was just too late. I had class the day it dropped, so I was like busy all day. I'm not gonna. How do I say this? I could commit to something, and I can't really commit to it. If that's how I want to say. Not really what I want to say. Uh, I wanted to play. I should have played. I just didn't because I am lazy. I won't lie. Oh, and then one viewer I think tunes in soon before I end stream. That's cool. You miss studying with me, which is kind of funny. Where's I going with this? Oh yeah. Actually, how does my live do on YouTube? Popular. Oh, 4 views on me just spamming Silk Song in the title. This is a 7-hour stream. I think I'm one of those views because I double checked the video. Just checking how much I failed at doing that. YouTube streams do not pop off. Oh, I missed the Spookathon. I enjoyed doing that actually. The nonsense I had on screen before I had to stop doing that. Where are my shorts? I gotta do more shorts. My shorts kind of popped off. And by that I mean peaked at like 1.6k views. But I got two 1.6ks, like three 1.3ks, 1.5, or 1.1, and then no views, no views. And then the like glitch soft locking kind of popped off. Did the best. Oh, me complaining about the birds. I'm so mad I screwed up streaming Silk Song and like it wasn't showing because I changed the Silk Song to full screen. So it decided to reset. I was so sad when I did that. Reset my streaming of it. Missed streaming Silk Song for a full 2 hours. All my initial when I like somewhat over exaggerated like anger with the chicken enemies or crow specifically. Calling them chicken. Actually, some of what I thought was some of my better content. Plus, I think anger is just good content in general. Not that that's a good way to view content, but I think it's fun to see people angry. I think it's fun to see them get a little pissed off, even though it really doesn't matter that much. Like in the grand scheme of things, it's just funny to be angry at nonsense. Like stupid bird enemy. Who really cares? The enemy does 2 damage. And I didn't feel like it was fair. So what? Grand scheme of things is what it is. I don't know. Plus, I need to actually create YouTube videos. Big important. Oh my god, it's almost 3 a.m. I I really want to, because I feel like my bug snacks, at least video-wise, popped off. So I want to turn my bug snacks, my 3 days of bug snacks, Christmas bug snacks even, really funny, Christmas bug snacks into a series, but I just haven't. As you can see, how from where I went from like restream to re-uploading from Twitch, which is kind of funny. In my content. Okay, neon white, neon white, neon white. I will finish neon white. No one liked my Iron Lung review. I guess I did it twice. No one liked either. Oh, I like how the title line though. FROGUS ANNUS Day 53 is the same length as review while playing. So then it has Iron Lung over Iron Lung. I was ready to like say, oh my god, I miscounted. 45 was 13 days ago. It was. I'm on 58 now. I should do like a celebration for day 60, which is a Sunday before I have an exam with 25% of my total grade. Never mind. I'm so sad my Hades playthrough didn't pop off because I played that for like a week straight too. I guess I was like really toady to the party of that one. Man, it's so hard to like try and save money. We're trying to like grow content. Like, yeah, I think it would be funny if I could play League for like 18 hours every day, and I think I'd grow a bit doing that. People would tune in and see me like be bad at the game and make fun of me. I don't know. Play like CS2 or something. Play Team Fortress 2. But I really like the idea of like variety gaming. Maybe I kind of put in the work in a single game and then later branch out, which is what a lot of variety streamers do. But like, what does that mean? Like, I have Persona 5, I haven't played Persona 5, and I want to play it on stream, and I will do it soon. But in doing so, I cement that very few people will really watch my stream as much because YouTube just doesn't like promoting variety content streamers because a lot of people just like, oh, I like Hollow Knight, so I'm only gonna watch Hollow Knight. So people like Blue SO and oh, who are the other ones? No, I haven't said to like a bunch of them because I love Hollow Knight. Like a bunch of the Hollow Knight streamers, they stayed in the niche and they kind of were just yeah, like scary too. There's one more I'm thinking that I really like, but yeah, with like those three, they stayed in their niche, and while it kind of paid off, it paid off amazingly, and they were really good at it. And then when Silksong came out, they had a whole like rush of people coming back knowing that they were good at Hollow Knight. So that should A transfer to Silksong, and B they were just genuinely entertaining. Like I was continually following Hollow Knight up until Silksong dropped. Watching much of the videos, I know a lot of it became like manhunts and stuff, which I don't care as much about. But like one guy just has to be like silent the entire time, which in my opinion doesn't make for the best content. I do think it's funny. I don't know. I never been big on manhunts. I never cared for like the dream boom and stuff like that. Oh, speaking of dream, well, his face reveal, dude, I'm so sad because for graduation I made my graduation cap and I'm really proud of how both turned out. Both of them were like so over the top nonsense, but I was so happy with how both of them turned out. They would turn out so well. That's aside from the point. But I went so above and beyond with those nonsense. Not nonsense. I was really happy I did. And they turned out amazingly. Actively working to make sure I keep those hats because I love how both of them turned out. One was a whole fantasy world where I interwove green thread everywhere. And then did a circle of water to give it an effect to stitch a frog there, and then there's a few other frogs. Oh, fantasy world. Invented a whole fantasy world on my graduation cap. Super heavy because I decided to use a porcelain figure and a porcelain hut on my a mushroom house, I think. Not a mushroom house, like a little log house on my thing. So it's really heavy in the back and was fighting to fall off. Then for my next one, I went really smart by using because I'm doing aerospace, I did a plastic plane. And then it was my school colors that I had I had a bunch of lays because I like lays. So I used a bunch of the interconnected tubes. So I used the school colors and had alternating color lays draped around my head. Mine was the most outgoing hat. Maybe not the best. A lot of people put a lot of people's were very sweet but very well done. I don't know. I was really happy with how mine turned out. But in the photo for the one that had the hanging things, I tilted my head to the side so you could kind of see the plane because it was taking off because I got a postcard from my university. It was for acceptance and stuff. So I was like, oh, that's so cool. What if I just hot glue this to my hat? So I had to use the needle I used to interweave the green thread in the other one to poke around a hole in the center of that card, around where the knob of the graduation cap was gonna be, because I did not want there to be unevenness. I'd rather burn my cap than have unevenness in it. So I had to do that and then pop it out and slowly cut around the edges to kind of smooth it out a little bit to then place it on the knob. Then hot glue the postcard down. Then attach a plane onto it, it's taking off from it. I don't know if there's a road or not, or I just attached the plane for the hell of it. Then attached a frog too. I was so sad. The one frog I mentioned sneaking onto that graduation cap popped off the day, as the day of graduation, as I was getting in line, and I couldn't reattach it, so it just was in my pocket. I was so sad. Happy with how it turned out overall though, and the frog didn't lose much as it popped off with the hot glue. The hot glue just didn't want to stay for that one. I think I stayed pretty much because I kind of attach more flowers. I bundled a bunch of because you can kind of fold the circle into quarters. I kind of did that a few times, so it kind of bunched up at the top. So I did that for some of my extra lay flowers and connected to the four ends as well, or the four corners. So it kind of popped up a bunch. Still over the top. Oh my god, I forgot to switch this to just chatting from neon white. I'm so tired. I gotta get back to locking. It's 3 a.m. Okay. Time to reinforce all of the knowledge that I know on a base level. I'm going to bed at 4 a.m. That's a lie. I'm going to bed at 5. Give myself 2 hours worth of material. Wake up at 8. Study it for 2 hours. Leave for class. After class gets out, study for another 3 hours. That's a decent 10 hours of studying, I guess. If I can actually lock in. Which returns me to the beginning, the ADHD rant. Anyway, jokes aside, thanks everyone who tuned in for this kind of nonsense. Where you learn the base idea of half my material. Which is kind of funny, I won't lie. I don't know why I just started explaining my material in the middle of this. I don't know. Full circle conversation. But goodbye, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the 55-minute stream. It should not have been 55 minutes. To be fair, I did more reviewing in that 55 minutes than I did an entire full day. Because I've just been so locked out. ADHD is evil. Anyway, goodbye, everyone.